a lot of the silly things were done last time that I posted a video to YouTube. I'm embarrassed about several things. One thing is, what I had done when I posted the video just didn't work, and it was obvious why it didn't work, and it probably would have been obvious, much more obvious, instantly obvious to anyone who uses matrices all the time, and I don't even know if I'm saying that word right, and transformations all the time. But the way that I was doing it, I kind of still do want to go back to, but I need to be more clever about it and have a better understanding really of what I'm doing with the matrices. It's very frustrating not knowing maths and not being very good at learning it, but that doesn't mean that I can't just use this system, which is the system I had before. The next thing I'm embarrassed about is the sheer length of time it took me to put the system back as it was before and have it work, which was just stupid. But then the other thing is that I did record myself pathetically trying to put it back together, and did it without recording audio. So the sum total of that is that this is the result of the last 12 hours work, is pretty much as it was before, but the thing that I did do was start the angle constraint guide. It doesn't work yet, so the sum total of many hours of work is no video and more or less where I was before, but these things have started to display something. I'm getting the sums wrong, so I'm going to go and look at them. But I'm pleased to have this back, because it was a long time of me being very frustrated that I tried to make a change and had made it worse and then just couldn't change it back. But anyway, it's done. So now, this is the draw method of the length snap as I have now defined it. It's still pretty ugly. There's loads of things here I'm going to sort out later. But first I want to sort out the draw snap, the angle snap draw method. Now, again, here I have gone back to just doing it the way I was doing it before, although I am assuming that it's a position in world space that's being passed in, so that the position is like the information inside the constraint gadget, the snap gadget. I don't like any of my names still. I keep on changing my mind about them. But anyway, this is what it does just now. A lot of overlap with the other. This, I think I'm just going to take away. Or am I? No, let's have a think. So I transformed the origin, just to, because I think, I don't know, I did have to, I can see that problem immediately. I did have to use the origin in the other method, maybe not here. I find the center in screen space. I find the position in screen space. I subtract the center from the position to find the line going from the center to the position. Find the angle of that line, the length of that line. Okay, now because I've changed that, that was quite an important change. I was subtracting the untransformed center for what is now a transformed position. Nope. Still very similar. What is the pattern to it? I'm not sure I can see. Like, it is selecting different stages as I move around, but it's just drawing them to completely the wrong place. Am I doing linear angle? This doesn't need to happen, does it? Yeah, no, it does, yeah, no, because I'm getting it in degrees deliberately, I understand, okay. Let me check my angle to degrees. That is as it should be. Arctan 2 returns radians. Right. Multiplies it to degrees. I could check my 2 degrees, but I think it's okay. Let me see this. Okay, I need to multiply these back up actually, don't I? Do I forget. I very quickly forget the way it is that I'm doing this. I think that is what it is. Like I'm finding the number of the I don't know how to call what to call it, like the spine. Where's my I won't bother getting my pen over. But yeah, I'm finding a point relative to that. I'm dividing that by that angle by size, yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure that I need to multiply it up again by size. And I can just add size for the high value. I hope I'm right about that. It is embarrassing when I'm just not like good at maths. Well, that's more like it, except it's totally wrong. It's more right. Almost caught me. Caught me, caught me, caught me. I'm going to have to start printing things out. Okay, interesting. Right, okay, it's never going to work around 0, is it? I have to think about the sign of the value. And here it chases ahead of me or something. Here it lags behind me. Here I'm totally out of it. Oh, yeah, okay. Wild. Right, I do need to think about the sign of the angle. What is happening? So I'm getting the right sort of relationship now between the squiggly with the mouse, between the point and the center. That I've picked something that is about negative, say, 45, which is, well, so I suppose I could go for 30 degrees, so 0, 30, 60, 120, 150, 180, minus, minus, minus. How beautiful. Yeah, that's about minus 45 for the angle, say. But these sizes, oh, that's lovely, are at 30. Right, okay, what, 30? How do you do degrees? Right, okay. So, first off, I probably need to be multiplying this. Oh no, I don't really. No. Angle could be negative. The size is still positive. You get a negative number multiplied by the size, which is positive, to get a negative number still. That doesn't seem to make sense, but let me see again. Yeah, negative 45 divided by 30. Am I getting that the right way round? Yeah. I'll just get the calculator out and say what is, just to try and know. Minus 45. I don't like that. 45 minus 45 divided by 30 would equal minus 1.5. The integer of that will be 1. 1 times 30. No, minus 1, yeah. Minus 1 times 30 equals minus 30. That should be low, according to that sum that I've done. But that obviously is not the case. Angle float equals diff angle in degrees. Diff. And I'm getting that angle. Oh, I suppose I could. Oh well, I'll just print out the angle. I'll print out a bunch of stuff actually. Debug right angle to pause. CT plus I should probably just put out some other things. Don't need to bother putting out high, it's so obvious what it is, but anything else? I suppose I'll just take distance as well. I should put it in a different order like, but oops. Right. Tell me what you're seeing. Is it going to work? The mic switch on this headset is far too sensitive and easy to lose track of. Okay, where am I? Let's get at least only one readout. Angle, that's a horrible way to do it at the beginning. CT to pause, 15 degrees. Yeah, minus 15. Low, high, 45. Low, 0. Yeah, high, 45. Well, first off, if low is 0, okay. Okay, first off, high needs to be plus the sine of size. Okay. The sine of angle times size. Does it? Yeah, plus a sine of angle times size. I think, yeah, so that it pushes it further in the correct direction. Let's see. Okay. Eight. The angle looks right. Low, high, minus 45. Well, first off, the lines are drawn in the wrong place, because this looks more correct now. 135, 135 to 180, 135 to 180, 90 to 135, 45 to 90, and 0 to 45. All correct, all wrong lines. Distance 350, and all these are right. Okay, it's nice to finally get the sums right, even if the lines are wrong. Okay, so what exactly is it that I do then? I draw a line. Guide length. This, I'm actually going to add the way I figured this out as a very ham-fisted way to draw past the end, from the center to past the end of the visible display, wherever that is, was just to draw the entire distance from the center to the point, then add the width. But I realized I might add the height as well, just because some strange person might stretch the gadget out so it's super super tall, and then you might find that the width is so narrow compared to the height that at certain orientations you don't see the end of the line. And I'm picky about little things. Anyway, excuse me. G-line draw. Center x, center y. Vx, vy. V has been set to be the cosine of low near angle times radians sine high near low near angle to radians high near high near. Now I know what these angles are. They're the correct angles. Why? That's really very baffling. Unless something strange is getting sent. Well, at low end, sorry, at low near end point plus string of v. Okay, fine, I'll call it high near end point. No, I don't want to do that. God, this is so annoying. Sorry, I'm being indecisive. Vx plus string vy. And I can't put it there because of how I'm drawing these lines. Okay. What I want to do is actually, no, that's not helping me very much. Sorry, this is useless. What I want to do is get it to tell me where the hell it's drawing that thing. No, look at that. It is. The y position is 0. Oh, okay. Okay, hang on, right, I'm missing something I begin to see, I think, do I? Let me see. This needs the center added to it. This is just the line from the center to the end. No, yeah, it's CT plus. I could add it out here, I don't suppose it makes much difference. But I'll put it in here. Don't suppose it makes... Yeah, no, I'm so indecisive. I am going to put it in here. Plus CT plus X. I have a feeling that this is what it is. I find it quite hard to imagine sometimes. Okay, sorry. Comma. I find it hard to distinguish commas from full stops above this little red line. this was useful. Hang on. Okay. Now, why does that look so much bigger? I guess it's just because it's occupying a bigger part of the screen. I mean, it's doing it right, doesn't it? Feels like it's dropping frames, but it's not. But anyway, so I can hardly believe that it has just actually happened, that all of these things are being displayed. Looking around, yeah. So now I have to do the... Oh, really has dropped frames. Something's happening that's a problem. Oh, I know what it is. It's just me debug writing all this and it's running with the debugger on. First off, I would expect it's just creating a huge log, and I don't think it likes that. I'll see if... I was thinking I was leaking something there, and that would be really bad and annoying. One moment. Well, I don't know if I'll really... if this is exactly a great way to test it. I don't like that, but I suppose there's much I can do about it. I'll put on a recursion or two, or three. Okay, so the display quickly starts to look like a total mess. It is still dropping frames. I suppose it's drawing a lot more. And I'm also doing the video, and it is running with the debugger on. But honestly, it should be able to do... at least it can draw the... yeah. That's a lot more work now. It's doing 5 recursions a frame. And it's still doing okay, I guess. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, the display is looking a mess. I would not deny that. The one thing is, I've been drawing it with white ink this whole time. And on a... actually, I'll make that the background. And this the ink. And draw addition. That background is far too bright. I don't want to get distracted doing this sort of stuff. Anyway. So, the reason I'm doing that is to try and pick out the lines a little bit better. I don't know if it's really helped, and it's made the spots disappear. So there are things that I need to do about the way that I draw the spots and the lines. I need to do a much cleverer line, because no draw mode compensates for the fact that there could be any type of background behind here. Multiplication will darken down, and if the background's dark, it's no good. Addition will lighten if the background's light, it's no good. I think I need dotted lines. Ordinary alpha drawing's no good, because when I say lines, I mean for these guides, and for the guides that appear, and for the grid, which I see I'm drawing dark, and it just doesn't exactly look nice. I actually thought I was drawing the grid. Maybe I have a grid color, I can't remember. But everything's being drawn a similar color. And if you want extra confusion, because I did program it this way, if I remember all the way back, look at that. It's working exactly right. But the guides are emanating from a point that the current preview position that is to say this line, does not pass through. Which is correct, because at this point in the path, the line passes through this point, and vice versa. When the line at this point in the path, the line at this corner is at this point. It's very confusing, this, but that's the way I made it, you know. To be confusing. I didn't make it to be confusing, but I did want these options. And I just have to bear in mind that that's, and sort of, so yeah, what I like more actually is to add another point somewhere. Yeah, look at it dropping frames now. Wow. This is doing 5 recursions, mind you. Add another point somewhere and see it come from the middle of a line. That is also correct. Because that is about a third or 2/3 of the way through the frame. If I move this to 1/3 ish, that is where it lands. And there the guides are emanating from the point at which the preview line crosses the path line. That is such a load of gibberish. Okay, I'm going to try running it with the debugger off. And I hope I don't get into this and realise it's been running with the debugger off the whole time, because that will be... No, okay. And just see if it holds, because it'll come back into the editor at the exact state I left it, I hope. I planned. So I should just be able to see if it holds 60. I still have to bear in mind I'm recording the video as well. I'm aware that I'm slightly putting off doing the next thing, which is the actual snapping. And for that I'm going to do the soft snapping first, because it's easiest. And that's it. Oh, I can't actually... Oh, well, anyway, yeah. Soft snapping first. Compile. Doing the strict snapping I really want to do, but I have a pretty good idea how I'm going to start doing the strict snapping, but I will just have to take care. Wow, I didn't think I changed much there, and that's usually the thing that means a long compile. Let's say 60, but I haven't actually started doing anything. It holds 60 at that, does it? Yeah, I can probably make it. I can probably find an orientation of these. It's only 4 points. Yeah, I can't grab it there. It's so strange. Like if I try and grab it there, I'll add a point. That's not very satisfactory. I have to make it really clear what you can and can't grab. And probably that green circle needs to be replaced with a great big bloody add point symbol. The circles need to be drawn with some sort of outline or in a different way that means that they stand out against any colour combination. Just like these little paper ink texts in those gadgets. I have to take the recursions back all the way back down, maybe to 2. Even then it's still very confusing. I'm just going to start again. Now, oops. The lines. There's 2 things. One is this preview curve, and one is just this set of lines, which is an important set. I mean, that is the segment, the set of segments that get repeated. This needs to be drawn, the preview I draw in the same mode as the render will be drawn. This needs to be drawn really differently, and I think just like a dotted line, and I think a black and white dotted line would be best, and the guides need to sort of be drawn in a similar way, which is uh, dotted, or not dotted, so to speak, but a dashed line. And I don't know about the grid. As a guide, maybe a dashed line for the grid isn't that great. Actually, let me try changing this. Yeah, little searchlights. It's quite nice, that actually, a searchlight feeling. Yeah, the guides need to be drawn that in a dashed line as well, I think. Although different. A dashed line with a different colour to, or thinner. I'm just thinking through. I think that the overall shape, which is drawn at the current animation position, although I have no animations just now, I'll just add one big loop to confuse things. That outer, the main shape, I need to figure out a name for it. The main shape, I think if it was drawn in a slightly broader black and white line so that it really stood out in front. And I think the circles maybe having a black outline so that they would stand out against any colour. These paths, I think drawing darker and maybe, I'm not sure how they're drawn just now, but maybe drawing them transparent. And the guides when they appear, with everything else done, maybe the guides with a much longer dash, drawn narrower, and in a maybe, I'm not sure, maybe if the line is black and white, the guides might be a pair of shades of grey. Dashed lines aren't going to be really very suitable for the notches on the rulers of the length snap guides. But I might just have to go with it and see how it turns out. I suppose, yeah, actually they might be okay if I arrange the texture a certain way. It brings up a point, which is, I don't know how easy it is to assign a texture as being repeating. At the moment I've never really used repeating textures. All of this is drawn from a single texture. Not out of necessity with a GUI, but just because when I do arrange it that way with a GUI, I assume it's pretty fast. Or faster than other ways, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's a bit of chat about how I want it to look soon. And that chat being done, I better get on and make it snap to whatever is selected. But I've been going for 33 minutes. To have it in a state which is basically functioning, I think, exactly right. I don't think there's any bit of it I've missed out, and the code is now more or less where it will be. There are a couple of bits that need cleaned up, like the content of those draw methods. I do want to make some static globals that compensate. It's really baffling to look at now, and I don't think it's nice to look at now, except for the fact that I love the way the little things move. And I like this searchlight feeling, and I'm going to take this angle all the way down to 10. And see it flicker around. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it in a kind of ugly but functioning well, I think, state. And don't forget 30, minus 30, and I'll be